and welcome to my 3-year anniversary video. This video is coming out a little late. I usually have it right on the anniversary date of my channel, which is like September 6th or 7th. Been a little behind this year, so this video probably won't be out till like October or something, early October hopefully. Normally in these videos I do a project tour going over every project that I made during this previous year. I think I'll do it a little different this year. I think I'll probably mostly go over what was made this year, but I'll probably just kind of show y'all whatever and maybe some like first year projects. Before we get into the project tour, I would just like to explain a little bit why things might have been a little different on the channel and maybe why some videos have been coming out late or not at all, because I usually have videos every Friday and they're coming out either late on Friday or not at all. We haven't been in this space too long. That's another thing that changed this year is I have my own shop where I live now, where previously I was working out of my dad's shop. When we first moved into this new shop, I started hitting the projects really hard and I was making a new project almost every day, or if not every other day. I don't like to do anything in the shop without filming it, so that put me quite a bit ahead on videos, but we know that life has its way. I'm not trying to give y'all a sob story or nothing, but almost as soon as we moved into this place is when, global pandemic happens, on top of all the moving stuff. We're about to have a baby, which as of now, while I'm filming this video, that baby is due next week. By the time this video comes out, that baby will probably already be here. For some weird reason, despite how a lot of things in everyone's work life has kind of slowed down in a way because of what's going on in the world, my job has had the opposite effect. We have gone into our peak production busy season like 2 months early. And that's a huge reason why videos have been late or out behind, because it requires me to work a lot of extended hours and extra days, and then a 2-year-old and a pregnant wife on top of that. It's hard to find time to do any projects, let alone find time to edit videos, because even my videos are pretty simple. Getting ahead on videos is really cool because, if I don't feel like building something, I still have videos that are done that I can get out. But I think it has affected the channel because, videos aren't current. I feel like there's almost been some kind of communication loss between me and y'all, because there's no addressing things that are going on currently or anything like that. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all get to see stuff I'm working on as I'm working on it, but then you don't usually see that for a couple months down the line. So one thing that was missing from this year was project follow-ups with me and Adam. Again, a lot of that is work and moving, and it's me and Adam had talked about it, and we're still down with doing those together, but it's more of just waiting until the time is right, because I'm not the only one with stuff going on. Adam's had a lot of stuff going on. I think I'm free to mention it because I think he mentioned it in another follow-up. He lost his dad, and so that was hard. And then our work schedules, because of the big bad C, have been mixed around, and now I'm working when Adam's not working, he's working when I'm not working, so it's really hard to find time to come together, and then it's hard enough to just get regular videos out once a week, let alone a whole nother series of the follow-ups. But I do want to do more follow-ups with Adam again, and we probably will. I really want to do a follow-up on the guitars, because those videos are different and new, and y'all seem to like them. Anyways, that's the sob story. Hopefully once my job starts dying down and we get settled in with the new baby, I could start getting some videos out on a regular basis. But some good positive things that have happened for this last year was I got monetized. I think I got monetized shortly after the previous channel anniversary video. And that's super cool. As far as being monetized go, the financial aspect of it is almost non-existent, but it's still super cool, and I've gotten a little bit, and my subscriber count continues to just grow. Anyways, enough of sobbing. let's do a project tour and check out the different stuff that has been built over the last year and the last couple years, and we'll just kind of wing it. It's not going to be super professional. I'll probably set up the camera on the tripod for some shots, and I'll probably just hold the camera freehand for some stuff. So not super professional, but it should be fun. This will probably be a long video, so if you want to like pause it and get a snack and a drink, I wouldn't blame you. Let's get started on just stuff that's outside and around the shop first, and then we can move indoors and check that stuff out. This was the very first project that I built in the new shop. It's just a little birdhouse. It's super simple. It's got a tray with a stick in it up here for bird seed, which pretty much just goes to squirrels. So I don't think any birds have ever even been in there, but I know squirrels mess around with it a lot. First project made in the new shop, and y'all seem to like that one quite a bit. Another one that was really popular was the squirrel picnic table. A lot of y'all seem to really like that one. I was totally trend chasing on that because I caught it right on time. Well, these were circulating around the internet and they were really popular, so I was like, it's loose. Oh no. Well, I'll have to fix that. You'll see that? There's a spider in there. Here's the bamboo wind chimes. That was a super popular video. So just look at it. It's like black and it's like that all over. I don't know why. It really doesn't get a lot of moisture out here, but I didn't put any like finish on it or anything, but super popular project. Car trash can with the fancy box joints. This ain't trash. It just lives in here. The pine looks like it's darkened up a little bit from all the UV exposure, and it's pretty cool. I think it could be bigger, but just a couple cool things right over here. One is that Colonial Candle Box. This is the one I made in the video. I made a bunch of these since that video came out because I started getting like a borderline obsession with them. I'll show you some of the other ones that I've made. This thing comes in handy. I could put all these just random things up in the top that don't really have a home. Y'all remember this hat rack? I made this, I think, in like my first year. I didn't like the design, it didn't work out that well, and I made a new one which was pretty nice, and so I was gonna throw this away, but I'm glad I didn't, because when we moved into this place, like, these clamps just fit perfect in there. Some people suggest making a video for a wall hanging squid. I think that would be a really good idea, and these are they're just quirky and they're just wall decoration, but they're really neat. And I made, like, this is the second one I made. You need to do book matching for it, I'll tell you that, but I do want to make one for the channel. I honestly didn't because I thought just being a wall hanging thing, it might not be that popular of a video, but I've had people request a video for the wall squid, so. Look, when I tell y'all that I am ahead on videos, y'all are really going to see what I mean, because I'll show y'all some teaser projects that I have videos filmed for that ain't come out yet. Here is a Dusty Jenga set. It's walnut and cherry. I have a video for that. I'm sure a lot of y'all remember the plank. That was really popular, and it was quirky because, you know, plank is just a board, but, you know, we tried to cut the edges just right to be wonky and routed the eyes and face, and that's, you know, epoxy put in there, resin. He just watches over the shop. Adam made that on the lathe. Here's this dusty thing. It's a phone speaker, and I have a video for that, which will be coming out at some point. This was one of my first projects ever. It holds trash bags. There's nothing in it right now. Bottle openers, I did. I think that was a second year project. Wood tic-tac-toe sets. Like I said, I had a slight obsession with making wood games too. And see, here's one of those triangle games. Here's that Dovetail Cat Bed. It was in the house. The cats weren't using it in the house. I brought it out here, and they weren't using it in here, so it ended up just kind of getting in the way. And I did make this little cat bed though for Puck, my little kitten. Every time I come out in the garage, he's laying on this, so he actually uses that. Look, y'all remember the ammonia fumed screw and nail caddy? You should wear a respirator for that, because I didn't, and it was really nasty. Here's the record crate I did. I had this in my music room, because when Puck was smaller, we wanted to keep him in the house for a while, before letting him outdoors, and he kept attempting to use the bathroom by this, which is why I moved it out here, and I could probably put it back, but this thing is heavy. But this was a popular project too. A lot of people seem to like the record crate. 1969 Silvertone. This was my second guitar restoration. But it was in really bad shape, and we repaired it and it came out pretty good. It's getting dusty though in here. Well, here's another Colonial Candle Box inspired box. This is the first stool I made on the channel, and it is, well, the fan blowing the dust off for me. I think that's it, so we can move indoors and start looking at some of the stuff in there, because there's a lot. Alright, inside the house, look, there's another Colonial inspired thing. I did do a little salt box that was inspired from that, which I was shooting a video for, but I ended up like losing half the footage. Like, I think it was one of those situations where the camera was recording and I thought it wasn't, so I hit record, which stopped record, and I like lost a big chunk of it. So here's one of those recipe boxes I made like last Christmas with the box joints. This was the one I kept, which was made out of pallet wood. The other ones were a little nicer, but we're not using that because I made this recipe box, which is old growth spruce, which I think is just super pretty. It has an ink transfer, and it was my first ever dovetail project. You know, I might remember this utensil holder, the walnut and cherry. You know, somebody mentioned before that about me squinting my eye, saying that it looked like a drug thing. I got contacts and my right one always dries out on me, so I'm always squinting. The cherry light switch covers, I did those for all over the whole house. You'll probably see those around in this video, but those were really cool, and I think people like that. The bamboo banana hangers, I think that video did pretty good. Some of the bamboo projects like didn't perform very well, and some, like the freaking wind chimes, did very well. And the cutting board too, look at just how dark it's gotten over time. You know, we use it pretty often, and it just gets darker and darker. And the salt and pepper shakers too, ebony and maple. Y'all remember the old classic Papa Top? That was fun. That had Will and Adam in it. That was like a first year project. That was a first year project that was pretty popular. See, this was what I replaced that trash bag dispenser with. Was another one of those Colonial Candle Boxes, and it's got the little drawer too, which doesn't have anything in it right now. That beer tote, which is not holding beer, it's just kind of holding just some random stuff. I think I said in the video that I think beer totes are really cool, but it just seems like a hassle to actually use them for that intended purpose, so it just sits up here. And the bread box, that was a really popular project too. Out of the kitchen window, there's one of those really fancy succulent plant holders that just lives up in the kitchen window. This pot rack too, like I filmed that like almost when we first moved in here, and I still haven't gotten the video out for it yet. At this point, I don't know if it's too late. I'll film these videos, I'll have them, you know, in the vault, so to speak, and then it's like I do another project, and I think that project is a little bit cooler, so I get that video out, and then I do like another project that I think might be a little bit cooler, so that one goes out, and then stuff like this just moves farther and farther back. So the corner coffee nook, this little shelf on here wasn't in the video. It wasn't until after I got it filmed that it kind of hit me to put a little shelf on there. Another one of those little games. This neat bandsaw box, which there is a video for this bandsaw box too, which still hasn't come out yet, which is probably the nicest bandsaw box I've ever made, and I remember making it. It was really frustrating. This thing, old school coffee grinder, there will be a video for that at some point too. I made this recently. All the bamboo shot glasses are up there, which we don't use those. This was the magnetic key hanger that I made. I don't remember if this was first year or second year. I took it down because I made us another thing. I didn't do a video for it. I just made like a fancy decorative like shelf thing. Still has magnets on it because I really like that idea. Once you use magnets for a key hanger, you don't want to use hooks again anymore, I'm telling you. There's another Colonial Candle Box. The wood on it was really unique because it's like dark like walnut, but it's a really soft wood. I think that we decided it was some kind of fir or spruce. Here's that really fancy entryway table I did. That was marble wood and cherry, and it's got the Purple Heart drawer. And look, that was that fall pumpkin that nobody liked. Like, nobody liked that video. Hardly anyone watched it, and it's got the like magnetic face. Like, that's super cool. Like the magnetic face that you put on there. There's that Purdue clock. That was really fancy. Got a whole plethora of stuff over here. This was that fancy little knick-knack rack. These shelves were cut-offs from the coffee station thing. Here's my Means Woodshop bank. The super fancy box that I made. It was perfect when I made it, and now I guess wood expansion and contraction, I can't fit this in all the way. I can barely fit it in at all. These are really cool and really fancy looking. These are it's like a little coin toss, like a tabletop coin toss, walnut and maple. The video for that will be coming out soon. Here's several of those games, and a lot of them were kind of the same, so some of the ones that were the same I gave away. Scrap wood box, kind of colonial inspired. This is a little ring toss. I guess you just try to throw that ring on that hook. There'll be a video for that out soon. That was super easy to make. Y'all remember the pallet pumpkin? I think last year's Halloween video we did some Halloween decorations. Look, there's the other fancy succulent holder. I like this one the best. The blanket ladder, that was a pretty popular video when that came out. I got all kinds of crap up here. This was the beer mug, which was the first video that started off this last year. My original beer mug, this one I think was like the third video on my channel, and I've mentioned lots of times that I hate that video. So I wanted to redo it, make a nicer one out of nicer wood, and just do a better job, and that's how I kicked off the last year for this channel. It's all black limba with some bent oak around it, but I don't use them. We don't ever use any of the beer mugs. They just sit up there like that pretty much. And then I got so much crap down here. This is a Shut the Box game, which came out super nice, and I do have a video filmed for it, so that'll be coming out. The big triangle puzzle game, which was cherry and curly maple. It's missing a peg. The wooden wallet. Clothespin in there that I didn't put in there. It was probably my boy done that. But yeah, and we decided that it's not practical to have a wooden wallet, but it is a cool little box. There's another one of those wood games. One of the little tic-tac-toes. I didn't make a video for this box, but I made it to hold this pipe stuff that my viewer Kevin made. Kevin made this pipe, and it's just the workmanship on it is incredible. It feels like glass. Lousy slingshot I made. I ended up drilling some holes and putting that through, which made it work a lot better. The whale bookends, the other half is down there. I think that was the least popular video I did this last year, was this one, and like nobody watched that video. This is what I replaced that magnetic key holder with, and it's got like 5 or 6 magnets that go across here, and it's made out of that like old spruce that candle box was. Little valet tray. I think that was also at the start of the year, but I think a lot of people liked the valet tray that was made out of black limba. Coat rack, I don't think that was a very popular video at all, but I think it's awesome with that beveled area where the walnut meets the walnut, and then the cherry with the bevels on it. Look, here's the haunted house, which is out because once again it's almost the Halloween time around here, and we're a Halloween family around here. So Ben has messed with it, made some of the pieces disappear or rearrange them, but it's got lights inside that aren't on right now, and you know, I tried to make it look old and ugly like a haunted house. Believe it or not, this was one of like the hardest projects I've built. I don't know why, because it doesn't have to look nice or precise at all, but for some reason it was such a pain to build, and I remember that. But Adam made some cool music for that video. This was another one from this year. My wife like totally took over this, and I never use it like ever. But here was the tissue box holder I did for a video, and I think that was pretty popular, that tissue box. The step stool was a pretty popular project. Y'all seem to like the step stool. It's just 2x4s, and you know it's got some little slight angles on there, and it's a beefy, chunky step stool. Now here's my music room, which is also the follow-up room, which here's the follow-up table made out of beech. I built that, I think, like the beginning of this year, and that's what me and Adam were using to film our follow-ups at. This, I think, was a fairly recent project. This little guitar pick box that looks like a little guitar, and it actually really does help me keep track of picks and not lose them. Look, there's another one of those triangle games made out of some of that spruce. The Mando helmet, we did that. I still never bought a proper lens to put in there, but most of my helmets are just display pieces, so I'd like to do some more Star Wars helmets at some point. This, I guess, maybe really could kind of be the first project filmed at the new place, but I built like half of it in my dad's shop and the other half once we moved in here. I finished it in here, but that was in Tarsha. And look, here's more of those Colonial Candle Boxes. And here's the Chimes guitar, which was the first guitar restoration I did. It's out of tune because I don't play it, and I think this bridge came out really nice, but it still has problems. The action, like you could drive a bus under there. One of the tuning pegs broke, the D did. Here was my first ever guitar build. Since I built this one, I haven't been playing it as much, so I don't know if it's in tune. It sounds mostly in tune. But yeah, I did quite a bit of work on this after I built it. So I had to reset the neck angle, I had to peel off the bridge and move the bridge down. The information I gave in that video about locating your bridge placement was correct. I just didn't do it right. I did that, and that helped so much. It's been sitting, so I don't think the strings are completely in tune, but I mean, action is better. Intonation is better, and it's a pretty good playing guitar now. But this one, I just finished building it. I call it my dream guitar in the video, and it's just... Like I said, it's got some battle scars, but I think it's just so pretty looking. I mean, even with its battle damage, like, out of all the guitars I've ever owned, it's probably the nicest. And if you see right now, I've got this, like, floating tailpiece that's, like, made for archtop guitars. Since I'm refinishing that Epiphone, I just wanted to put this on here to see what it would be like, because this goes to the Epiphone, which is why it's gold. But I like it better. It helps with the intonation. It made the action a little bit better. I was able to set the saddle a little bit better, and it kind of made everything a little bit better. So I ordered a chrome one, and when that gets here, I will put the chrome one on here. I don't mind having these two ferrules in here that hold the fixed tailpiece, because even the Epiphone has that. This guitar came out awesome. Looking out here in the hallway, that was the pallet wood, just decorative wall thing. This is a video that still needs to come out. It's just, I ordered this. It's not pallet wood, it's like 1/4 inch old barn wood, and I wanted to make this like bathroom organizer. It's got these box jointed boxes that all just go in here, and you can, you know, arrange them how you want, and also this little rubber band paddle boat. I think I was getting some excitement on Instagram with this thing, and I was working on that in early summer or late spring, I think, and I just had never gotten around to getting the video out, and I want to, but I need to find a good water location to film an intro and an outro. That's all that's lacking, but for now it just hangs out. Another one of those. And look, toilet paper tower. There's one in the other bathroom too that I made out of cedar. There was the new and improved hat rack, but it's got this like floating cherry piece in there. And yes, I do have all my hats, and no, I don't like wear them anymore, but that was supposed to be kind of like my thing on the channel, was wearing a hat. Like I was trying to make it, you know, kind of like my signature thing, and instead a lot of people were like, why you wear that hat in hot Texas weather? When in reality I know it's a beanie, but it like doesn't feel any different than like a baseball cap. This was from my very first year, the little fingerboard. with the Means Woodshop hat on there, and it just lives up here. I still got it. It's still going strong. There's the Cedar Nightstands, Eastern red cedar top, Western red cedar everything else. Y'all remember the bed stand? In the future, I would like to build some new nightstands. Look, here's the fancy bedroom stand, which I think was a first-year project, and it's got a Purple Heart top, but it's got this sheet of like melamine on here to hold the TV in the bedroom. But that was really fancy, and it never did that good on YouTube, but it's fancy. There's that elevated cat stand. It's been painted, and we're using it for new baby stuff. See, in the other bathroom, there's the original spice rack I made out of those reclaimed pine bed slats, which now we're using it to hold some bathroom stuff. More of those cherry switch covers. Look, here's the pallet wood toilet paper holder thing. And I think that was a really popular project, but it just holds stuff. There's the other toilet paper tower made out of Western cedar. Look, here's just a spare closet, but it's got that laptop tray. And I had to take a break after I made that because that was right as we were in the middle of moving, and I was emotionally not having a very great time. And I think you could tell just by watching that video that I was not really a happy camper at that time, because moving at the time was so stressful. Not a good time I like to think about. Not a very fun time on the channel. But look, this was a bench I made in my first year, and it's out here on our little deck thing. And man, it just gets more and more weathered. I think at one point one of the legs actually came out, and it's just got cracks all through it. Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all remember this, but it's the trash bag recycling box made out of cedar, and it had a tumble, and it's got a slight crack in there now, but it's okay. But it's gotten pretty dark over time, but I really like that cedar box. And of course there's that mallet I made, the cherry and maple mallet. Y'all see that in Soggy. I'm positive that there's lots of projects that I missed from previous years, and there's some from this year that were like given away, or like I did that box restoration for my mom, so she has that. I built that footbridge for my parents, and that thing's still holding up. My dad did like a deck stain and sealer on it, and it looks pretty good. I think my most popular videos from this year have still definitely been the wood species basics. Y'all seem to like that a lot. I think I've got like one more domestic wood, which is maple, to do before we could start getting into like exciting exotics. Honestly, y'all are probably going to start seeing a lot more guitar stuff, because once I built my first guitar, like that is like I'm fixated now. Once I get fixated on something, like that's it. So I ain't saying that regular woodworking projects are gonna go away completely, but things are a little bit different. Being in my own shop is one that I just keep filling up my whole damn house with projects. But I think I would like to attempt an acoustic guitar, so that should be challenging and exciting, and y'all can look forward to that. Probably more wood species basics. Maybe once my job gets out of its peak busy season that it's in, I could get the channel back more on a regular flow, a nice even flow of things. So I hope you enjoyed the project tour and seeing some old projects from way back on the channel. Maybe if there's some that you really liked that I didn't get in this, you can mention it and we can check it out. I could do another, maybe like a mini project tour going over some stuff if maybe I missed it and you wanna see it. I'm excited about this new year of Means Woodshop and how it will evolve this year, because it changes every year, and every year it grows a little bit bigger, things get a little bit better, things go in different directions. That's it. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Soggy might not. He might disappear again and then come back again. We don't know.